Hi, I'm Paul Walsh, the founder of MetaCert. I want to explain why I see a world where everyone, including you and all the people you care about, should no longer have to worry about which links we trust, which web links, which websites, applications, crypto wallets and exchanges, PayPal invoices, DHL delivery notifications and text alerts, password resets. We're all spending way too much time and energy, either avoiding legitimate messages and links or worried about which ones we click on. It's ridiculous. It's 2025. That problem of impersonation, phishing, was first discovered on the internet at AOL in 1996, where I was actually one of the first high profile people at the time to be impersonated by hackers. They impersonated inside email, IM, chat rooms, and online communities. My screen name with messages and dangerous links. It's the same thing today. Fake QR codes, fake text messages, dangerous emails, dangerous login pages, fake app downloads, fake crypto addresses. It's all the same thing. It's the same problem when it comes to addressing it. But the security world is obsessed with authenticating people, authenticating users with websites and services, but leaving the fact that what we should be doing is authenticating those websites and services before we allow people to log in or install malicious software. So here's how it works. The entire security world, and it doesn't matter if you have a security app or network security or endpoint security or Wi-Fi security or whatever blah, blah, blah security is out there. 100% of them, without exception, all do the same thing. They will all try to protect you from dangerous links, dangerous websites, dangerous apps, dangerous login pages. It doesn't matter if they employ 100,000 people or if they have the world's best AI. It still relies on trying to detect signs of danger. And with over 30,000 new fake domains being registered every month, that's impossible to keep up with. There's no way to know about them until a victim reports it, and that's too late, obviously, or they're discovered in the wild, or we stumbled upon them. And that doesn't include all of the fake accounts on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, and all the other social media accounts. It also doesn't cover all of the fake app downloads on Android that live on a safe website, play.google.com. The link, the URL to those apps, it's completely random. The characters are random. There's no way to be able to detect signs of safety or danger in an app download link. It's mathematically impossible. Any security company that says they can protect you with the world's wizardry of AI when it comes to threat detection is not telling the full truth. It's just more of the same. The concept is flawed by design. The entire concept of assuming and trusting every single web link until it's verified as dangerous hasn't been working for years. So MetaCert has flipped the model. We've moved away from the conventional way. In fact, if you think of a tech company or a security vendor, the chances are they've licensed our patents for mobile app security. So we pioneered a number of different initiatives. We didn't pioneer zero trust. That's a concept that's actually known as the gold standard in cybersecurity, but it only applies to people, apps, devices, and network data. The security industry has never applied that concept to web links, to URLs. And that's a big problem considering that 90% of all cyber attacks, whether it's spyware, ransomware, identity theft, corporate espionage, financial fraud, data leakage, 90% start with phishing. Phishing is the entry point. But yet we're obsessed with selling security services that help people with what happens after they've been phished. And all of the anti-phishing security companies are now selling anti-phishing awareness training, which costs more than the security. So the security world has really conditioned everybody into thinking that we should blame victims and that we should give them more training. They should buy more security. And when these dangerous links, and I say when When they bypass security controls, it is the end user, it is the person, it is you, it is me, the people we care about, our parents, our brothers, our sisters, our friends, our employees, our colleagues. We are the ones that have to decide whether to trust that message or link. Now, we can all spot the obvious scam. That's easy. But it's like marketing. Some of it is lazy, some of it is fantastic. So when people are told, don't trust a suspicious message or a suspicious link, what we're actually telling them is, when it doesn't look suspicious, go for it. It's all psychology. So there's two parts here. Criminals aren't exploiting human vulnerabilities. They're exploiting the vulnerabilities of a flawed model. The entire security model is flawed. It doesn't matter what the solution is. The model itself of threat detection is flawed by design. So when a link gets through the system, it is the person that has to make up their mind. Either they trust it or they don't. And you can't know for sure unless you open the link a lot of the time. You can't tell people to avoid suspicious links either, because if they don't look suspicious, people will trust them. And if we tell people to avoid messages that they aren't expecting, then we're basically telling them, if you're expecting this message and it doesn't look untrustworthy, you should be fine. There are enough people out there waiting for a DHL delivery. There are enough people going through toll bridges. There are enough people waiting for a notification of some kind, or a password reset, or a reminder, or an update from a software provider. Enough people are waiting for these messages, whether it's a text message or an email or a social media post or a Google search result. It's impossible to know some of the time. We all spend way too much time and energy checking messages and links. And a lot of the time, the problem is we avoid safe, legitimate marketing messages or text alerts or messages from partners or vendors or our employers. We're avoiding them because we're not trusting anything. So Metacert's new radical approach is to move away from the conventional method. We are one of the threat providers that the security industry has relied on for years. We are similar to companies like Google Proofpoint, Akamai, VirusTotal, and other vendors who license these databases of dangerous links to all the other security companies. The vast majority of the security industry does not have their own threat intelligence databases. They license them from companies like Metacert. But we realize that hasn't worked for years. I've been researching and developing open technologies, open standards and technologies, and studying human behavior for a long time. I co-founded the W3C standard for URL classification. That's the standards body for the World Wide Web. During that time, I co-invented the entire concept of labeling user accounts on the internet before it was even needed. You might now know that as Twitter verified or verification on other platforms. Now, their implementation might be questionable, but the entire concept of classifying folders and user accounts on the internet didn't exist before my colleague and friend Phil Archer and I brought it to the W3C and said we have a better way of doing things. So the best way to keep people safe is to assume every web link is dangerous unless it's verified. So in the same way that we would have a threat feed for dangerous links, what's more important is that feed, we've got a different feed for legitimate links. So we will tell you when a link is verified as legitimate. We have a security service for mobile, for example. Once you download that app, instantly it installs a link checker inside almost every app on your phone. It doesn't run in the background. It doesn't read, transmit, or store any kind of message content or web page content. It only gets called upon when, for example, you get a text message that looks like it's from DHL, but you're not sure. Or if you're in Ireland, it could be on Post or Revolut, or it could be Bank of America, or it could be Coinbase. When you get that message and link, you press down on the link and it brings up the Apple menu so you can share it or open it or copy it. That's where the Metacert link checker is. When you select the link checker, before you open the link, it will tell you if it's verified as legitimate, classified as dangerous, or if it's unverified, which means you should proceed with caution. So we haven't verified everything, but we have verified most of the addresses you should care about. So you can quickly check to see if a link is verified or not.